welcome to Through My Lens podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay, and this podcast was created to help motivate and inspire and grow with women that is constantly the overachiever, yet constantly overlooked. The woman who is fearless with accomplishing her goals, yet often fearful of the random opinions of others. The woman who has endured heartache, but who has also caused it, yet she is still seeking to become the best version of herself. This space was created for every woman that's feeling as if she can never walk through her soft girl era because she's always having to display this hard exterior. So sit down with me, grab your favorite glass of wine and your favorite drink, and let's dive into the journey, sis. So, hey, y'all, hey. This is season 2, episode 1. I know a few months ago I posted a video, and that was supposed to be season 2, episode 1. But, honey, y'all, life has been lifing. The tea is piping hot. So without further ado, I'm just going to dive straight into this episode. But before I do want to thank every single person that has been streaming, listening to my podcast. This season I'm doing visuals so you guys can see me or hear me, whichever one you want to do. But I just thank you for supporting me so much. So without further ado, I titled this episode Life Be Lifing because it is, and it will always be lifing, and it's still lifing, okay? I put out this Bible verse, and it was, she is clothed in strength and dignity, but she laughs without fear of the future. And that was Proverbs 31:25. And let's just say your girl has been not laughing and been very fearful of the future, okay? Life is just going in a whirlwind of directions, a whirlwind of emotions I've been experiencing. And it's crazy that that verse stuck with me because I used to use that verse as motivation and just being strong and not walking in my soft girl era. And it's crazy how everything that I'm going through now, it just changed my perspective of that verse. And I just feel like I'm completely reverting away from like what that stands for and what it actually means. So far, what has been going on? Okay, so if you follow me on social media, you know that I am now a flight attendant for American Airlines. And I'm also still an entrepreneur, also still doing hair, very much so. But I have been lacking, y'all, on my business. I've been lacking on my content, and I've just been lacking on showing up for myself in general. And I feel like this all started when my aunt passed away. So we're just gonna rewind a little bit. Literally 2 weeks before I started training, my aunt passed away when I was in LA and I was filming a promo video for Mogul Fit. That's my workout line, my activewear line if you are new here. And it literally just took me by surprise. Um, Not by surprise, but I just didn't feel like it was going to be that day. I didn't feel like it was going to be that moment. I feel like the only thing that brings me peace or comfort was the fact that I was able to talk to her last few moments here on earth with us. I was able to talk to her before I got on my flight to LA. I talked to her once I landed in LA, and just experiencing that and knowing that like I still had to show up and still do my photo shoot and my video shoot, it was just hard. It was very hard for me to do. I actually wanted to like just leave in that moment and fly back home to be with my family. But I just stuck it out. Like my family just told me just to finish the shoot. I had already paid to be out there. I had already paid my videographer. And I will say like my videographer really came through for me during that time, like just being patient with me having like crying and trying to film at the same time. It was just a mess, but I just been liking on my business in general. I have not dropped anything for Mogul Fit. I've still posted like doing hair here and there, but I really haven't been in my business bag as I should be. It just made me feel like a lot of different ways, and just changing my career path in general. Like a lot of people were shocked that I became a flight attendant. It was a shocker for me as well. I literally just woke up one day in Dallas. I was just feeling like, what else could I do? What more could I do? I knew I wanted to travel for doing hair in the upcoming years. So I was like, I'm getting ready to be a flight attendant. So it was kind of like a bucket list type of thing for me. I actually applied once I graduated college and I didn't get it. And so I was just like, why not try again once I seen that the opportunity presented itself and I got it. But the things that came with me doing a complete career shift or actually adding on another career outside of being an entrepreneur just wasn't what I thought it would be. And so I took like a semi social media break because I feel like oftentimes I have a problem with comparing myself on social media. I have a issue with like just not sticking in my own lane. Like I'm always staying in my own lane, but sometimes I peek over to the side, peek behind me, look at old things that I used to do, old things I used to post, and it hasn't been like very beneficial in a way. I don't know. It just caused me not to focus and not to be as in tune with myself as I should be. And obviously, like I'm still in therapy and stuff. And so I just feel like when I was going through this like change or this level of uncertainty or this level of just like not showing up for myself, I really had to sit down with myself and ask myself, like, how do you expect to get to the next level? How do you expect to grow if you're constantly filling your head with trash, but you're praying for a treasure? You're expecting a reward, but you're like constantly telling yourself negative things. You're constantly not showing up for yourself. You're constantly not pouring into yourself. Like, how do you expect this to like change? So I feel like sometimes I experience levels of not feeling good enough, not feeling as if I've done enough, especially like with my birthday coming up. Y'all, I've been stressed out about turning freaking 27 years old. And I know that that may not be like a big age to y'all, if that may not be like a significant age to you guys, but the level of plans that I felt like I had or when I turned 27, I just felt like it was going to be everything I needed to be plus more. I felt like it was supposed to be my breaking point. I felt like it was supposed to be the time where I can be prepared for a future, a family, a marriage, kids, you know? And for me to see like that around me and me not being able to possess that, I feel like I'm having a hard time with accepting that. I feel like I'm having a hard time with just feeling as if I'm not living in my purpose yet and not knowing how to find my purpose. And I just feel like the clock is ticking and I just go like spiraling out of control. Like in 3 years, I'm going to be 30. Like, what is my life going to look like then? Or what should I be doing then? Like, what all do I need to do now in order to not work when I'm 30? So I just feel like lately I've been so stressed out. I've been so overwhelmed. I've been so filled with anxiety of turning a new age and moving to a whole nother state. Like I literally relocated here to Charlotte. I literally had a month or so to find a place. I didn't come here prior, didn't tour here the place that I live. I just took a whim and I feel that my first week of me being here and even some days now it's just like, girl, what the hell are you doing? Like why are you in Charlotte? And it's so crazy how they say everything comes full circle because it really does. Like I never understood that growing up. I never understood like the point of that or the concept of that. But when I say everything comes full circle, it's because literally 2 years ago I came and I visited Charlotte and I was going to move to Charlotte and I also visit Dallas. And out of the two places I picked Dallas and I feel like me being in Dallas really helped me to get out of my shell. It helped me to learn how to network and just maneuver life as an adult and making new friends and making new connections. I also feel like it caused me to grow a strong relationship with God and stay focused. I changed so much with me living in Dallas from the things that I like, the things that I don't like. The people that's in my life now and the people are no longer in my life now. Like so much has changed and I feel like I prepared myself for Dallas. Like I mentally prepared myself for Dallas, spiritually prepared myself for Dallas, financially prepared myself to move to Dallas. And when I was in training, I did not expect to get stationed here in Charlotte. Like I just wasn't expecting that by far. And when I got it, it was just like, oh shit. Like, okay, I'm getting ready to move to Charlotte. And don't get me wrong, I like being here, but I just feel like something is missing. I just feel like I'm isolated all over again. Like when I moved to Dallas, I was isolated for about a week or so, and I met friends that are still my friends to this day. Here is really hard for me to network as much as I could because I really don't have that much free time. I don't have a church home here And for those of you that follow me on social media, like going to the Potter's house literally became a part of my weekly routine, going there on Wednesdays, going there on Sundays. And I just haven't found my groove with things yet here. And I don't know if it's like new city jitters or just having to get acclimated all over again, but I'm just like, God, why am I here? Why do you have me here? Why am I not still in Dallas? Like, I just don't understand it. I don't get it right now. And that's what I mean by saying life be life, and because everything just be out of control and just all over the place. That leads me into just the level of anxiety I feel like I've been having lately, and just having anxiety attacks in general, and kind of feeling depressed. Like, god damn, give a girl a break. Okay? Like, this was supposed to be my breakthrough year. This was supposed to be the year that I just finally got a leash on everything that was going on in my life, and finally got a hold of being in control of everything that's going on in my life. And I feel like when things don't align, how this is my problem, y'all. When things don't align how I feel like they should, when I feel like they should, how I feel like they should, I go ballistic. Like, I go crazy. I don't like it. I don't like not being in control of my life or the things that's involved in my life. And when I'm not in control, I feel like that's when I put the most pressure on myself. And that's when I feel like a why me moment. Like, I don't know if y'all experience this, but I have why me moments. Like, why is this so hard for me to achieve? Why is this taking so long for me to get? Why do I not have this, or that yet? Like, why? And I know I can't be the only girl that feels this way, because I know, like I said, life be life, and I know I'm just not the only one who thinks like this. I know I'm not the only one that feels this. And I just be wanting stuff to come to pass, y'all. Like, this is an example of just feeling depressed, or like just having levels of anxiety. Those 6 weeks of me being in training for the airlines, I feel like I experienced so much about I've learned so much about myself throughout that process. I learned so many things. I learned so many life-changing things or experiences that I probably will talk about in a different episode. But it kind of triggered me, y'all, to like my high school days and my college days. And what triggered me the most was the level of anxiety I had when taking tests. And I feel as if in the program you can only fail 2 tests. And once you fail the 2 tests, you're out. I had already failed one. Then I failed a second. And I literally had 7 more tests to still go before the program was over, the training was over. And every single test, I had anxiety. Every single time I was getting ready to take the test, I cried. When I submitted the test, I cried. Studying, I cried. Like, I was so filled with so much emotions of just feeling overwhelmed, not wanting to like let anybody down. And I feel like that's another pressure I put on myself, is making myself feel these unrealistic expectations, or feeling like I have to prove myself to other people, or even to like my family members. And I don't have to do that. Like, we do not have to do that. And the more I realize that, and the more like I actually believe that in my head, I feel like the more better off I will be, because that's just unnecessary pressure that's placed on me. What I was trying to say is that when I was taking those tests, it kind of reminded me of college, and feeling as if like I'm studying my ass off, I'm doing everything that I feel like I could do, and I'm showing up, but like, why am I still having a hard time with this? Or why am I not where I should be at this time? Or why do I not feel prepared for this? Or why did I have a good day today and then tomorrow it's a crappy day? And I feel that that's how life is. Like, some days we have very good days, and some days we have very bad, crappy days. And the challenges that we deal with are just things that comes with life. It comes with the territory. And that's kind of played into my business. I feel like, yes, I have a salon suite and it's thriving, but y'all, them 6 weeks of being in training really just changed my life. It changed my perspective on things. And it really took a lot of sacrifice. And a lot of times I will say this, being an entrepreneur and going to working like a regular job where it's not really a regular job because I don't work that much. But more of the story is I went to being a full time entrepreneur to being a full time entrepreneur plus working a regular job. And the level of humbleness you have to have is crazy because it was a lot of times where I was getting ready to say, forget this job, forget this training. I have a whole business, two businesses that are successful that I can just keep growing with that. Like, why am I putting myself through this unnecessary pressure or this unnecessary stress? But the moral of the story is, I deep down wanted to do it. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted something different. I wanted to experience something different, something worthwhile. And I just remember myself giving up when I was in college and how I just stopped my senior year and just didn't finish. And I didn't want to do that this time around. I actually wanted to stick it out and just thug it out. But god dang, y'all, like, why do we have to go through so many obstacles? Like, why do we have to experience so many hurdles to jump over? Like, why can't things just be smooth sailing? And it's so crazy because they say even when you're like successful, it still comes with problems. Like, we will never get rid of problems in this lifetime. And I guess it's just going with the flow and adjusting to these problems, or just adjusting with the hurdles that we overcome or that we face. But it be hard, y'all. And I just be feeling as if, like, what else could I do? What more could I do? What could I be doing better? Or how can I apply myself better? Or how can I do this or that more? I just feel sometimes things can trigger us to change for the better, and sometimes things can trigger us to change for the worse. And I feel like just this journey in general, with me trying to navigate getting back acclimated to running my businesses and getting back acclimated to being a flight attendant as well, I feel like it does take a lot of changes. And I don't know if I'm ready for those changes. Like, change can be good, but then change can also be hard. I feel like I have to find myself all over again here in Charlotte. I feel like I have to put everything that I learned in Dallas and apply it here in Charlotte. I feel like that's kind of like why I'm here right now in this space and at this time. And I also feel like I need to not put a time limit on a level of success. Like, success does not have a time limit. And if somebody would have told me this 2 years ago, I would have probably looked at them like they were crazy, because you couldn't tell me 2 years ago. I knew at like 25, 26, 27, I for sure was going to be married with kids. And that's that's not my story right now. um and I'm learning to like not rush it. I'm learning to just like deal with it. I'm learning to be patient for it, because I realize when I'm like overly anxious or overly impatient about things, they typically don't happen the way that I need them to happen. Just for example, like I just said, when I graduated college I wanted to be a flight attendant. I'm now 26 years old and I just became a flight attendant, and I appreciate the things that I learned. I appreciate the journey I was on. I appreciate those 6 weeks that I was able to take out of my life and truly dedicated to something different, something that's much bigger than me. And I'm able to interact with people every single day, or every time that I'm on a plane, I'm able to see life from a different perspective. And I'm just able to appreciate things differently. But I just wish that my aunt was here to witness it. I wish that my grandmother was here to witness just the things that I've done so far in life, the accomplishments that I've made. Um, and even for me to pick up the phone and call them some days. And I feel like that's kind of why I have anxiety some days. Sometimes, probably why I feel sad or depressed about things, because they were like my everything. They were my rock. They were my biggest supporter, my biggest fan, my biggest confidant. And I'm getting emotional talking about it, but it's just like, when you have somebody in your life that truly, truly believes in you, will do anything for you, and to lose them, it hurts. It hurts a lot. Um, some days you're unable to process it. Some days you're happy. Some days you're really sad. It just really just depends on the day. And I feel like my grandma literally passed like 7 years ago, and it's still not a day that I don't think about her. It's still not a moment that I want to call her on the phone. It's still not a second that I want to, just get advice from her. And even like my aunt was the very first person that ever took me on an airplane, that ever like traveled with me. Um, and so I just feel like I'm grateful for how everything is coming full circle in my life right now. And even with life and even with going through like different challenges or different struggles, I know that it's a reason why I had to wait for certain things, because I'm so much more appreciative of them. And I feel like if I just keep that in my mind, keep reminding myself that it is okay to be patient, like patience is going to bring me my ultimate reward. Like patience is what's going to bring me my ultimate peace, and just reminding myself that I will get there when I get there. And I feel like as long as I hold that close to me, as long as I constantly remind myself that if I give 110% every single day and I just show up for myself, or even on the days where I don't want to give 110%, as long as I still show up for myself, I'm still pouring into myself, I'm still pouring into my soul, that can be good enough for me to find joy, that for me to find happiness, for me to continue to smile and be a light to other people. Like I really want 2024 for me to be used in a way that I've never been used before, be of help, be of service in ways that I've never been before. Um and just connecting with a lot of women. Like I really want to connect with a lot of women. I really want to connect with just being soulful and just pouring into ourselves and loving ourselves, and knowing that it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have a day where you just want to complain, you want to cry, you want to shout, you want to be sad, but you know that tomorrow, like, you got to pick yourself back up and you got to keep going. And I feel like it's very important to have people in our lives that constantly remind us of the good that we offer, the good that we have inside of us, the levels that we may be at. I feel like it's just good to have those people around us, because we may not see how far we are ahead. We may not feel like we're far ahead. We may not feel like we're doing anything right or we're not good enough. But having people in our lives to constantly remind us that we are doing those things and that we are going to be successful, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And you determine your destiny. Like when you put in the work, you get what you put in. We have to use what we have now to get to where we want to be. Like me being a flight attendant, the bigger goal is to be able to travel to do here. I literally fly for free, literally fly for free. So if my goal is to be a traveling hairstylist, a traveling motivational speaker, or just a traveling anything where I'm able to help somebody else, like I'm going to use that to my full advantage. I'm going to use that to my full destiny. The connections that I've made in LA and Dallas, I can use those resources to help me or be able to help somebody else. So even though I haven't found my footprint here, I haven't marked my mark here in Charlotte, I'm hopeful for the future. I look forward to the things that are to come. I look forward to things that I may not even know is coming my way, and the things that I'm planning for and the things I'm going to work for. Um, so even though life be life, y'all, like just stick it out, just continue to grow and just pour into yourself. No matter what type of healing it is, just pour into yourself no matter what. And even when life feels like it's getting hard, even when you're feeling like you're not doing good enough, even when you're like feeling overwhelmed and having anxiety, just talk to somebody, write it down, go to the gym, just do anything, because y'all, I have been lacking on posting content. I've been lacking on going to the gym. I've been lacking on really looking at the big picture and realizing how far I really came, and not taking that for 1 second for granted. Because to be able to say like, dang, I have one space in my salon suite that's not filled. But it's like, girl, you own a salon suite. So like just finding the good is something that you may feel is like negative, or like I live in Charlotte, like I haven't met anybody or I haven't done this, but it's like, girl, you live in a whole different state. Some people are terrified to leave their hometown. Some people can't even afford to leave their hometown. So finding something good in that, girl, you literally healed and grew from toxic environments, toxic relationships, and now like you're in healthy relationship, surrounded by healthy friendships and just a healthier family dynamic, and everything is not always perfect, but I'm just growing to learn to find joy in the things that I may not always see, and finding joy in the things that we take for granted. So many things that's to come in the future, and I'm excited for y'all to see what I've been working on. I'm excited for y'all to see what I've been cooking up. Like, I was so scared to record this episode because I didn't know where this episode was gonna go. Normally, I'm very like strategic with writing everything down, but I just wanted to catch up with y'all and let y'all know that I've just experienced death. I've experienced a different change in my career. I've experienced a different change with like my personal life, just moving and getting into a new relationship and still trying to make connections here, and still trying to find my way, and still being okay with getting older. Like literally my 27th birthday is next week. Like I cannot believe it, y'all. And I'm just so grateful. I'm just so blessed for every opportunity. And I just want to close with a Bible verse from Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future." And I feel as if even though life be life, and just know that whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, whether you believe in a higher power, whatever you believe in, just know that like there's a plan for all of us here. We all have a destiny. We all have a reason as to why we're here. We all will experience how things come full circle and can work for the benefit of our good. But we just have to be patient with ourselves. We have to give ourselves grace, and we have to pour into ourselves no matter what. Like I said in the intro, we are walking into our soft girl era. We do not have to always display this hard exterior. And I love when y'all sit down with me. I love when y'all listen to me. I love hearing y'all call me or text me or DM me about the episode or about the podcast. I love y'all so much. This is so new for me doing visuals. I hope I didn't look too nervous because I am super, super nervous right now. Um, but yes, I'm so glad to be back. I can't wait for y'all to experience what I have in store. And I just love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This episode was kind of different, kind of all over the place, but I had to catch y'all up and let y'all know what's to come. Visuals every single episode, posting every single Monday. Let me know if there's like a certain topic that you would like for me to discuss or go over. I will be doing collaborations with people on my podcast this season, and we are pouring into ourselves more than ever. I am sharing things on a deeper level, sharing things that I've been going through, sharing things that I've been struggling with. And death is one thing that is still a process of me getting over. It's still a healing process. It's still a grieving process with that. And I just send my deepest condolences to anyone that has lost anyone this year. Um, it's not easy. It's not easy losing someone close to you. It's not easy not being able to ever talk to them again. But if you believe in God, like I believe in God, I know that we'll be able to see them again. I know that they're in a better space, and I know that they're always watching over us. And just keep that in the back of your mind, the forefront of your mind. Remind yourself every day that they're with you, and talk to God, y'all. Like, I was in tune and on my journey with building my relationship closer with God when I lived in Dallas, but I just feel myself getting ready to be taken to a place that I've never been before, and it's going to require me to do things that I've never done. And I'm just so ready for that, and I'm so grateful for that, and I'm just grateful for this opportunity to have this podcast. I just show up, let God do his thing, and I just say what I feel and what I think. because it's through my lens podcast. So yes, that's the update. Life does be lifing, but we got this. Oh, and follow me on Instagram at Lace by Lens on Instagram, Mogul Fit on Instagram for my women's activewear line, Mogul Salon Suites on Instagram if you're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you need a new salon suite to work in, and follow me on TikTok to see all of my craziness. And that's on Lace by Lens as well. So peace out. Love y'all. Blessings. Have a great week, a blessed weekend. I'll see y'all next time.